Imagine a world where wars are no longer fought with missiles or tanks, but with invisible weapons, lines of code, data breaches, and silent infiltration through the web of global networks. Imagine a small but determined nation quietly building an army, not of soldiers, but of digital warriors, capable of defending its sovereignty without firing a single bullet. This is not science fiction. This is the story that NATO's intelligence officers whisper behind closed doors. The story of Pakistan's cyber warfare division, the force reshaping how power is measured in the 21st century. Pakistan's silent evolution in cyber defense and offense has become one of the most underreported yet transformative shifts in modern warfare strategy, especially in South Asia. For years, the global narrative portrayed Pakistan as reactive in cyberspace, focused mostly on defensive countermeasures against external hacking attempts or surveillance threats. But beneath that surface, NATO intelligence officers have observed something far more complex unfolding: a steady, calculated transformation of Pakistan's cyber apparatus into a full-fledged digital warfare structure. This evolution did not happen overnight. It was driven by necessity, born from the realization that the next battlefield would not be fought solely in the air, on land, or at sea, but across invisible networks of code and data. Pakistan's Cyber Warfare Division, which began as a modest department under the defense establishment, has now become a core element of its national security ecosystem. NATO analysts, in private discussions and classified briefings, acknowledge that this division is no longer merely reactive, but proactive, capable of offensive cyber maneuvers, digital espionage disruption, and even targeted counterintelligence through cyberspace. What particularly stands out to Western experts is Pakistan's investment in talent and technology. Over the last decade, the country has been quietly building a network of cyber specialists trained in artificial intelligence, advanced encryption systems, and digital defense architecture. NATO officers admit that Pakistan's growing focus on AI-driven threat identification has placed it several steps ahead of regional adversaries in terms of anticipating and neutralizing cyber intrusions. The Cyber Warfare Division reportedly employs predictive algorithms capable of mapping potential threats before they escalate, an approach once considered the exclusive domain of advanced Western intelligence agencies. Alongside these technological advances, there is a structural discipline in how Pakistan's cyber units operate, often working in tandem with conventional military branches to ensure real-time information flow and synchronization with broader defense strategies. This interlinking of cyber defense and national security has quietly elevated Pakistan's position on the digital battlefield, making it an unpredictable and capable player. NATO's intelligence assessments reflect an acknowledgement that Pakistan has crossed the threshold from digital defense to digital deterrence. The once underestimated cyber unit has evolved into a sophisticated command capable of both shielding the nation's digital frontiers and striking with precision in the digital shadows whenever required. What makes NATO's intelligence officers particularly attentive toward Pakistan's cyber capabilities is the unprecedented integration between its cyber warfare division and the broader military command. This fusion of digital and traditional defense is something few nations outside major powers have managed to achieve effectively. NATO's internal assessments often describe Pakistan's cyber division as a force multiplier because of how seamlessly it operates with the Air Force, Navy, and intelligence agencies like the ISI. This interconnected structure allows Pakistan to synchronize cyber and electronic warfare in real time, turning data, surveillance, and code into actual combat assets. Western intelligence officers privately admit that Pakistan has begun executing hybrid military doctrines that merge kinetic operations with cyber capabilities, a hallmark of modern strategic warfare. In simpler terms, cyber warfare in Pakistan is no longer a standalone discipline. It is a command-level instrument capable of influencing decision-making during aerial missions, electronic jamming campaigns, and even information control across digital spaces. This integration also means Pakistan's armed forces can engage in multi-domain operations where digital and battlefield actions reinforce one another. For example, in a simulated combat or live operation, cyber specialists can disrupt enemy communication grids, jam surveillance feeds, or feed misleading data into adversarial radar systems, allowing pilots and ground forces to act with precision and confidence. NATO officers analyzing these strategies concede that Pakistan's coordination between cyber intelligence and military hardware is far more refined than previously assumed. Reports suggest that dedicated cyber units are embedded within command centers, working around the clock to ensure that every electronic signal, satellite feed, and radar blip is part of a secure, synchronized network. The goal is not just to defend digital borders, but to actively manipulate the digital environment in favor of tactical advantage. Furthermore, Pakistan's integration of cyber and hybrid warfare is backed by policy-level support. The national security policy includes directives aimed at unifying cyber, information, and psychological operations under a single strategic framework. This consolidation reflects a vision similar to doctrines followed by NATO countries themselves, something that Western analysts did not expect from a regional power. The ISI's Cyber Intelligence Wing reportedly collaborates with the Cyber Warfare Division to protect critical infrastructure while conducting counter-surveillance against external monitoring efforts. The fusion of civilian cyber talent with military oversight adds an additional layer of efficiency and unpredictability to Pakistan's cyber doctrine. Within NATO circles, there is an acknowledgement that such hybrid integration blurs the line between peacetime monitoring and wartime readiness, creating a model that demands continuous observation. What began as a digital support mechanism has evolved into a strategic pillar of Pakistan's defense philosophy, and NATO intelligence officers are now studying it closely to understand how a mid-tier power achieved this level of operational synergy without global fanfare. Among the most intriguing revelations NATO intelligence officers have quietly discussed behind closed doors is Pakistan's unexpected progress in artificial intelligence, quantum encryption, and indigenous technology development. For years, Western defense analysts assumed that nations like Pakistan would remain dependent on imported cyber infrastructure and foreign-developed digital tools. However, internal assessments within NATO's Cyber Command paint a very different picture. They indicate that Pakistan's Cyber Warfare Division has been actively investing in self-sufficient research programs, focusing on next-generation encryption systems, AI-based defense algorithms, and localized data protection frameworks. This move toward technological autonomy has caught the attention of intelligence experts who previously viewed Pakistan as a consumer of imported technologies rather than an innovator. Through collaboration with national research institutions, universities, and defense-related tech firms, Pakistan has built a digital ecosystem that reduces reliance on Western software and enhances its ability to counter external cyber surveillance. AI development within Pakistan's cyber network has become a strategic asset, especially in real-time threat detection and digital forensics. NATO intelligence officers acknowledge that Pakistan's AI-driven algorithms have reached a level of sophistication where they can predict intrusion attempts, simulate cyber attacks, and isolate digital threats without external intervention. These systems reportedly operate on deep learning frameworks capable of identifying irregular data behavior across multiple networks simultaneously, allowing Pakistan to detect cyber breaches far earlier than before. This evolution signals a new level of technical independence where Pakistan can protect its communication systems, military databases, and defense networks without relying on Western cybersecurity software that often comes with built-in vulnerabilities. The strategic implication of this, NATO analysts admit privately, is significant because it minimizes Western leverage in digital intelligence gathering across Pakistani defense networks. Quantum encryption is another area where NATO insiders have expressed cautious respect. Pakistan's efforts to develop quantum-safe encryption models for military communication and data storage make it harder for adversaries to decrypt classified information, even with advanced computational systems. Such encryption is considered the future of cybersecurity, and Pakistan's early experimentation in this domain indicates a forward-thinking approach to cyber resilience. The development of indigenous technologies, ranging from secure operating systems to homegrown encryption chips, has also raised concerns within NATO that Pakistan's cyber architecture could soon become impermeable to foreign monitoring or intervention. By fostering in-house technological innovation, Pakistan's Cyber Warfare Division has effectively reduced its exposure to external manipulation and strengthened its ability to conduct independent digital operations. NATO's analysts privately concede that this self-reliant model, if expanded further, could elevate Pakistan into an exclusive circle of nations capable of sustaining cyber warfare capabilities without dependence on Western intelligence systems, giving it not just defense strength, but digital sovereignty in a world increasingly shaped by information dominance. Within NATO's intelligence community, one of the most discussed yet least publicly acknowledged dynamics is Pakistan's deep cyber collaboration with China, a partnership that has reshaped the balance of digital power across Asia. Western analysts privately admit that this relationship has been instrumental in accelerating Pakistan's cyber modernization. allowing it to leapfrog a decade's worth of technological development in a fraction of the time. Through joint training programs, technology transfers, and intelligence sharing frameworks, Pakistan's cyber warfare division has gained access to advanced digital warfare tools and methodologies that were once monopolized by major powers. NATO officers observing this cooperation note that China's experience in cyber espionage, network penetration, and AI-based cyber defense has become a foundation upon which Pakistan has built its own cyber infrastructure. This alliance has moved beyond theoretical cooperation. It now operates as a pragmatic and evolving partnership where both nations benefit strategically. NATO intelligence assessments reveal that Chinese cyber experts have worked closely with Pakistani teams to establish secure communication grids, build advanced malware defense systems, and develop real-time threat interception networks. These joint ventures have allowed Pakistan to fortify its military and intelligence systems against both regional and global cyber intrusions. In return, Pakistan provides China with a geographically and strategically vital ally through which cyber surveillance and electronic monitoring can be extended across South Asia, the Arabian Sea, and parts of the Middle East. NATO's private briefings often describe this partnership as a dual front in digital warfare, where China provides technological depth while Pakistan offers operational reach. This synergy is particularly concerning to Western analysts because it represents a model of hybrid cyber alignment outside Western influence, a system that can operate independently of Western digital infrastructure or global intelligence networks. Beyond technology sharing, this collaboration also extends into joint research on artificial intelligence and electronic signal manipulation. Pakistan's integration into China's vast digital intelligence architecture gives it access to cutting-edge software for information control, cyber forensics, and battlefield data encryption. NATO insiders privately express that this cooperation has effectively created an informal cyber bloc capable of challenging Western supremacy in data dominance and digital espionage. Pakistan's growing proficiency under China's mentorship has turned it from a regional actor into a significant cyber power whose digital capabilities cannot be dismissed. NATO analysts are particularly wary of the fact that such collaboration strengthens both nations' ability to resist Western cyber infiltration and retaliate through coordinated digital counterstrikes. The relationship has moved beyond conventional defense cooperation. It has become a long-term strategic alignment that extends into the digital, informational, and psychological domains of warfare. NATO's private assessments now reflect a subtle but unmistakable concern that the combined cyber capabilities of Pakistan and China could, if strategically aligned, present a serious challenge to Western intelligence dominance in Asia and beyond. The most revealing aspect of NATO's private assessments about Pakistan's cyber warfare division lies in the tone of unease that runs through confidential briefings. Behind closed doors, Western intelligence officers admit that Pakistan's rapid cyber advancement has introduced a new dimension of deterrence that complicates traditional models of strategic stability in South Asia. For decades, nuclear capability was seen as Pakistan's ultimate shield against external threats. But now, NATO analysts quietly concede that cyber warfare has become an equally powerful layer of defense, one that is invisible, unpredictable, and deeply integrated into its national security doctrine. What unsettles NATO's intelligence community is not merely the existence of Pakistan's cyber force, but the growing evidence of its readiness to respond to digital provocations with equal or greater precision. This has created what they describe as a zone of calculated ambiguity, where Pakistan's exact cyber strength is deliberately obscured, making it difficult for adversaries to gauge its full reach or counter its potential responses. NATO insiders also recognize that Pakistan's cyber deterrence capability extends beyond military applications into information control, digital influence operations, and counterintelligence surveillance. The division reportedly maintains a sophisticated framework for monitoring digital infiltration attempts, identifying patterns of data manipulation, and executing silent counter-hacks that neutralize or expose foreign intelligence operations. This ability to retaliate quietly yet effectively has made Pakistan an unpredictable actor in the cyber domain. Intelligence officers describe this unpredictability as one of Pakistan's most strategic assets, as it keeps adversaries uncertain about how or when a cyber response might occur. The country's leadership has understood that in the digital age, ambiguity itself can serve as deterrence. This philosophy, combined with operational capability, has transformed Pakistan into a cyber power that can no longer be underestimated or ignored. Within NATO's private circles, there is also growing acknowledgement that Pakistan's cyber doctrine is not purely defensive. Its infrastructure appears capable of launching sophisticated counter-offensive operations if provoked. This includes the ability to disrupt communications, manipulate digital intelligence streams, and disable critical data networks belonging to adversarial entities. Such capabilities, according to NATO's assessments, could significantly alter the outcome of regional crises or digital standoffs. There is concern that the existence of such tools might embolden Pakistan's strategic posture, giving it the confidence to counterbalance Western or regional surveillance pressures more assertively. Moreover, NATO analysts privately admit that this development forces a re-evaluation of their traditional intelligence playbook in South Asia. The realization that Pakistan's cyber division operates with such autonomy and technical depth has led to increased monitoring from NATO's own cyber defense units. It is no longer viewed as a secondary player, but as a credible digital adversary whose influence can extend from the tactical level of electronic warfare to the psychological dimension of global information control. NATO's quiet concern reflects a new reality. Pakistan's cyber warfare capabilities have matured into a genuine form of deterrence, reshaping the strategic calculations of those who once underestimated its digital resilience. In the corridors of NATO's intelligence headquarters, the tone has shifted from dismissal to quiet respect. What began as an overlooked program in Pakistan's defense structure has evolved into a fully fledged cyber warfare apparatus, capable of redefining digital deterrence in South Asia. The Western world now privately admits that Pakistan has mastered the art of hybrid defense, where artificial intelligence, quantum encryption, and cyber intelligence converge to protect national sovereignty in ways conventional warfare never could. Its partnership with China has added depth, its indigenous innovation has added resilience, and its integration with military strategy has added precision. Pakistan no longer competes for recognition. It commands it silently. NATO's intelligence community understands this transformation better than anyone, acknowledging that Pakistan's digital frontline is now as formidable as its nuclear one. The message is clear. In a world where cyber supremacy defines dominance, Pakistan has entered the arena not as an observer, but as a power to be reckoned with. The future of warfare has already begun, and Pakistan's cyber warfare division is not just defending the future, it is defining it.